plenty of friends that are science students, and I know what they do to get their names on papers. They pipette, they inject PCR gel with stuff. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've done it. And it's cool. Because let me try. Oh, it's sweet. I knew someone that did it so much that her wrist started to hurt. She started to have, like, you know,
carpal tunnel.
Well, it was like some kind of inflammation because, I mean, you have to do this for hours. You have to be very careful with it and whatnot. Anyway.
Don't forget the centrifuge.
Okay, then, even if they did the research, even if they generated the null hypothesis, then went into the lab and then used the equipment and all that other sort of stuff, if they did it all themselves, and then said, oh, hey, look, I did all this research, and oh, wow, cool, let's write it up and publish it. They didn't prove anything, because they can't. But a mathematician, I go into my lab, which consists of a whiteboard, so I don't even need the frickin' money the taxpayers are going to throw to the biologists. I need a fraction of that. I just need to hire colleagues. I just need people to do more math. So I take my null hypothesis, and I go to my whiteboard, and I perform my experiments, which are written in ink or chalk or whatever, and then I either verify or discharge my null hypothesis. If I continually verify it, I probably try and prove it. And there's where I rise above everyone else, because I can prove it. I mean, it's conceivable that I can prove it, not necessarily capable of it. And then if I pull off proving it, well, awesome. Then I go write it up and I publish it. I've done everything. I've seen it through to the bitter end of truth or not. That's why we're all better as mathematicians. Here I am!
I'm going to have to transcribe that.
So that was the whole point of that,
I can't even remember. I just knew that I knew that this was inside me today, and this is the only pulpit that I have, so to speak. And so I need you all to either be followers of me or go make fun of me to your friends. Whatever you do, it'll plant the seed in their mind. And you know, I don't care if it makes it to the head of the physics department or whatever, and they come to my door and want to fight, because I'll be ready. Whether it's intellectually or physically, because I'm training. I've been training for years. I'm ready for them to come and take me on. If they win, fine. I'll let the chips fall where they may. I will rest my case and say, you're right. Physicists are ruler, whatever. I don't know. You're the king of academics. It goes back to the summations. So Jim Powell suggested, all the faculty were suggesting what we do with our symbol. And what this dork that was hired by, never mind, someone was hired to cook up this symbol for the math department. I'm drawing it exactly as it was. Well, more or less. I mean, I'm kind of hurrying. Okay, so there were 9 buttons on it.
Like a calculator?
Yeah. Yeah, think of how offensive that is if you're a mathematician. Not only is it a 9-digit calculator, it's a freaking calculator. You walk down the math halls, you're not going to see a single person with a calculator in their freaking hands doing anything. Okay, so that was like summarily dismissed. I mean, the email from our department head was hilarious, and I can't even report it. I mean, he was just like, yeah, I mean, among other things, he said, I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do with a 9-digit calculator. So that was obviously gone. Then this started this flurry of emails, and I hope some of you know or knew Eric Rowley when he was around, because it'll be even better if you know who that guy is. So Jim Cangelosi suggested this, which I said, yeah, that's pretty awesome, but we should have that, because that arrow thing is like, only he uses it because he's freaking old and stuff, and forgot. People use different things now. Like, this is used by graph theorists now. We've taken that symbol over. This is the logician symbol. And then, so that was like, no one really cared about that, even though he had like the best points of anyone. And then Jim Powell said, we need, he called it the infinity cartouche, because as mathematicians, we have no problems with dealing with infinite quantities, other than those biologists and scientists and whatnot who deal in only finite quantities. This characterizes us as mathematicians. And then he introduced that by saying, yeah, some of my friends asked me, you know, for the summation symbol, why did you turn the M on its side, you know, for math, so you can turn up some. I don't know if he was being serious or not, but it's conceivable. Like, maybe some people don't know what the sigma is. It makes sense, right? It's notation. Why would you expect a person off the street to know what that is? So I like this symbol. And then maybe a person off the street wouldn't know what that is either, but it still looks cool. you can make it cool looking. So whatever. Yeah, it's like 1 to 11, 8.
Isn't that everything?
The non-symbols of magic 8 balls, you never know.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. No, it's supposed to be, that looks like an 8 ball on the side. But anyway, this is supposed to be in the little, yeah, 6-sided thing. Okay, so the email went on, and people were giving their suggestions, and then Eric Roley's just kind of came just out of nowhere. It was like the string of emails, and then Eric Roley said, how about a 5-digit calculator with the middle one extended? Pretty rad, huh? I still have the email. This is years ago. I was like, man, I fell out of my chair. And I was like, this from Eric Roley? Really? That's awesome. And then I would have gotten behind that symbol and pushed really hard. Because that's like what our attitude should be. Yeah, we're mad. We're better than you. Symbol. The rest of you.
That symbol really? It's actually the
It's
sigma?
a freaking sigma still, yeah.
Is it
Because like this
violent?
person who was hired probably paid thousands of dollars to come up with all these stupid symbols. They just like, well, this ain't working, so they fired him or whatever. So they paid a bunch of money, but then never changed anything. It's the way the world works.
Are they hiring for that job anytime soon?
Look around. Keep your eyes and ears open. It's probably done because someone knew someone who knew someone, and then they got him a job. That's my guess.
Oh, I know you.
But I don't have any power. Yet.
But if we spread the word, you'll get power.
Okay. We need to figure out, okay, when you expand these things, I want to know, okay, so C of x is another power series.